You don't even know what movie that's from.
I don't.
Only,
Is it a Billy Crystal movie?
No, only me and Rick would know.
Oh, I don't know.
I think I requested the hand job.
I don't know.
Do you know, Rick?
I have no clue.
What? Okay, don't.
They do that in a lot of movies. Anytime there's a new set.
No, it's Wayne's World.
Oh, gotcha.
You don't know. Early 90s Wayne's World.
I don't know. I'm
Yes.
too young. I'm too young. I don't know.
Yes, yeah, you are too young. Well, we are in a. I think we're in a good mood.
Yeah.
I'm actually feeling rested.
Although
I
I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I ate a gummy and it still hasn't worn off, and I didn't eat a gummy. You said that the other day that you felt like
You're feeling
ate
a little.
Today I feel like I ate a gummy and it hasn't quite
You're feeling
snapped out of it.
a little foggy.
Yeah.
No, I feel great. My voice feels great. I'm very happy in our marriage. I'm very happy with our kids.
Yeah. Rick told me I was glowing today, so
God,
I'm loving the light.
God, I hope that doesn't mean I'm gonna punch Rick if you're pregnant.
Oh no!
I'm gonna, dude, you're killing me. You're killing me.
I'm like, wait, could I be? No. No, we don't have sex.
Don't. Yeah. You're making yourself laugh, and that is true. That is very true. So let's get our sponsors out of the way.
Yes.
Aztec Chevrolet, taking care of business, doing all the good stuff. I actually am very excited because I ordered my very first vehicle. I've never, you hear these people go, I ordered my vehicle, the way I wanted it,
Yeah.
So this is the very first time in my life that I'm actually ordering a vehicle.
Or buying a brand new vehicle, period. Not even just ordering it, but I don't think we've never purchased you've never purchased.
What do you drive? Stop. I have never had a brand new vehicle. Renae has had a couple. So quickly you forget.
Yes.
But the process was super easy. I called Jerry over there and I said, hey, this is what I want. Can you order it? And he said, no problem.
Yeah.
And then reached out to GMC because I am getting the Yukon XL, the big one, but I wanted the AT4 off-road version of it, you know. So I'm very excited about that. And the process was so easy. Give those guys a call. Give them a chance. Old Salt Coffee. Rick, we need to find out. There's several people, and I'm sure you saw the notes, who are still waiting for their challenge coin.
Yeah.
So for that, I apologize. We are somewhat of a unorganized mess. So I apologize.
Only somewhat.
So we're working on it. And if you're listening to the podcast and you have not received your challenge coin, please do us a favor. Go to the website and send an email through the website. The whole team gets it, and we'll send it out right away. So my apologies. But you are helping veterans. So thank you. Trevino 10 is the code with Old Salt Coffee. And then you need a podcast like you've never podcasted before. 350,000 hours of podcasting on Pick Cherries.
Ad-free.
Yep, ad-free. Download Pick Cherries. You are helping me and my beautiful wife. So please do so. Anyway.
Thank you to our sponsors.
So what is it is that the new fad is to look like you play tennis?
It's called athleisure.
Every mom that you know.
It's athletic wear and leisure wear mixed together. Athleisure. That's what it is.
Is that what's in right now?
And mine is zipped up because the dress is a little tight and I don't want you to see things rolling over the side.
But is that what it is now? It's
No, well, it's just like easy on the go. I think in a post-COVID world, lots of people are working from home. They're exercising at home. Like it just keep it all moving.
And I thought you were going to decorate in here for Halloween.
I just realized the light isn't on. Our light box.
Why did you?
Because I was going to decorate for Halloween and I was going to put something there, but then I thought I would officially wait till October 1st. Yeah. Okay. I won't be, the house is all decorated, but I'll wait to decorate the podcast studio.
And again, look, Renae would not let me Instagram. You can take that. It looks like it might be important.
I don't know. It looks like I can do that and find out if it's important.
But Renae, I was like, trying to do no, and I'm going to show everyone. No, I'm making a video, and no, and don't show people. So apparently, if you want to see the things that Renae is doing here at the house, I am not allowed to,
no, you were
to
just
join
showing
in.
it before I wasn't finished yet. You got to wait till it's all
But
finished.
I honestly believe that if I am showing things as they're going, then people would get excited to then go see you and see, because
Well, you could show them it's done now.
you're the finished product, and I'm the, oh my God, it's fucking 3 weeks ago and we
No,
started.
you know what? It's not completely done yet. It's like done for now until maybe like a week or two before Halloween. Then like the place is going to be covered in spider webs and that black creepy cloth. But I don't want to go over the top just yet.
Oh, really? Really? So this isn't over the top.
No, this is not over the top.
Rick, my whole dining room looks like the dining room from the Addams Family. The whole dining room, and that's not over the top. I mean, there's candy bowls all over the house. The mantle has now been decorated.
The dining room might be my favorite. It's like Halloween glam because it's the formal dining room.
The kids' room, the kids' desk area is. I mean, it's insane.
I love Halloween. I love witches. I love skeletons. I love Halloween. I love that there's like not pressure to have to make sure you've bought everyone the perfect gift and that you didn't forget anyone. It's just like eat candy and wear costumes.
I don't know. I'm like, yeah, and then you walk around, I'm exhausted from being so busy. Well, you can't complain.
But I love that our kids love it too. This morning when I was taking Delilah to school, we were going to load up in the car and she goes, "Which, mommy, which?" She has to go outside
By the way,
check on the witches before she goes to school.
Just to give you guys an idea, and I'll put some on my Instagram. There are 4 skeletons sitting around the house.
Not around. They're properly sat in a chair.
I mean, I think it's funny that like Delilah doesn't give a fuck, dude. Delilah like walks up to it, knocks it over. There's a scary witch outside. She doesn't care. She doesn't get scared by it.
She was a little at first.
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
At one point, Rebecca picked up the skeleton and was like walking with it, and Delilah was like, "No, Rebecca, no, no, Rebecca." It's the cutest thing in the world. But we are going absolutely nuts, and I am taking that weekend off, so I'm very excited to be able to take that week off. And then
every year you are the same thing. You dress up as a rodeo clown every year, and Garrett's finally like, "Dad, can we please let go of the rodeo clown costume?"
I'm a clown. That's what I do for a living.
You are.
I'm all about.
I really wanted to do Encanto. I thought he would make such a cute Bruno, and Delilah would make such a cute Mirabel, and I could dress up like the old grandma. I thought that would be a lot of fun, but Garrett wasn't having it.
Well, I just laugh because like when you get in your organize, I'm gonna organize. That Garrett will look at me like. Garrett looks at me like, dude, and then the other day I go, "Hey man," I go get dressed. We gotta go. And then he goes, "I'm not getting dressed till Mom gets here because you know how she is." And I was like, you know what? I do know how she is. And she wants to control everybody's life. So yes, you need to wait to get dressed because... And then Renae's like, "We're running late." Well, we all have to wait for your approval on everything. So it's almost impossible. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about what me and Chief were talking about.
Yeah.
Chief and I and that's what I love about my jiu-jitsu lesson with Chief is that not only are we, I'm learning a skill and working out, we're also talking about life. We're also talking about challenges and things that we're both going through. And we both have that male perspective moment to talk about what we're going through, and
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting because, Chief is working very, very hard, to not only be a jiu-jitsu master, but to be a businessman. And, and I told him, I think, and to not, I don't want to talk about Chief and his situation, but I want to talk about ours and the fact that, one of the biggest mistakes that I make is I will have a plan in my head and I don't share that plan.
Yeah.
You'll question things that I'm doing, and then I have the attitude of, "Well, do you trust me? Just trust me. Just trust me." And it's like, well, I do owe you the conversation of this is the short-term plan. This is why I do what I do. And this is the long-term plan. And this is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
I think sometimes it's that you've already processed it, not just in your own head, but like with your manager or with a friend or whomever, and you just haven't had that conversation with me.
Well, yeah.
I think that happens sometimes too.
But, again, I don't, you have your plan and I'm not allowed to question your plan because you're just going to do your plan. Right. And then when I have my plan, it's what are you doing and why are you doing that? And I don't understand. So there is from both of us a little bit of, hey, this is I set goals.
Yeah.
I set goals. I set plans. I try to figure out, hey, this is where I want to be. This is how I want to do it. And unfortunately, along the way, though, there's obstacles and there's, my plan doesn't go quite as smoothly as I had.
But to go back to what you just dropped a bomb and said, I do whatever I want and I stick to my plan. I think it's a little bit different because
what did Garrett say?
Your plans affect our livelihood. My plans are Halloween decorations and I'm putting them up while you're gone. It's a little different.
I'm teaching Garrett's learning chess at school and I play chess. So I was teaching Garrett how to play chess and then, reminding him what pieces can do what. Mm-hmm. And then I go, and the queen can do whatever she wants. And he goes, oh, like mom? I go, yes, like mom.
It's because he hears you say it all the time.
No, because he knows. Because the kid has eyes. That's why. Because the kid he goes, oh, like mom can do whatever she wants. No, but honestly, and when I was talking it out loud, it was like, oh, you know what? Renae does deserve for me to go, hey, let me speak my plan out loud.
Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, I would also like you to sometimes follow me blindly. And trust.
I do. I think a lot of times it's because we work together and I overhear a lot of the conversations when you're home. It's like, I hear what you say and then I'm the one scribbling the notes and running with it.
Rick, do you find that now working with Gigi closer and more that you're having the same issue?
Oh, yeah.
She refuses to follow you blindly.
I've only been doing it 25 years, but yeah. Please tell me.
God forbid we have opinions.
Oh, I know. That's always the argument. Why? Because I have opinion? Why? Because I have questions? But it's the same question over and over and over, trying to convince me to do it your way.
No. Because oftentimes you interpret the question.
I heard him laugh.
No.
I heard him laugh.
Oftentimes you misinterpret my questions as questioning you. And oftentimes those questions come from my desire to learn and know and see it from a different perspective.
No, it's your desire to continue to convince me to do it your way.
No.
Yes.
No.
It goes back to the two cabanas. The joke that I'm doing right now about two cabanas.
Where I was right and you were wrong.
No, where you were constantly, well, why do we need two cabanas? Because I would like them. Can you get two cabanas? Well, I don't understand why we need two cabanas. Can you just get them, please? Well, I don't want to pay for two cabanas. Okay, well, let me answer that. We're not paying for two cabanas. We're paying for one. Jake's paying for the other one. Are you sure we need two cabanas? Yes, I am absolutely sure that we need two cabanas. Well, one cabana sleeps 10 people, is capable of 10 people. Are you sure that we need two cabanas? And then I answer that question too. Well, we have 14, so yes. 14 is more than 10. And then the next question is, well, I mean, are we all going to be in the cabana at the same time? Basically,
are you going to do the whole damn joke? Because it's way funnier on stage than in the podcast studio.
Oh, because when it's real like this, you're like, oh shit, I did ask the same question 50 times to try to convince him to get the cabana, to get one cabana. Ultimately, I do agree with the fact that I'm going to put it on me, that I should communicate more, but I am such an internal planner.
Yeah.
That is something that inside at night, daily I'm thinking about, okay, what's my next move?
But that's how you are about everything. You don't write anything down.
Right.
Everything for you is internal. You're set. Everything.
Yep. How am I going to do this? Approach. How am I going to do that? I need to get here. I need to get there. I need to do this. Yeah. We need to release I Speak Wife. How do we do it? What's the best way? Yeah. I also need to film a new special. How do I get there? I'm always thinking, what I need to do and how.
Meanwhile, I have a list with 10 things on it, and that same list is in 5 different places around the house for everyone to see.
And none of it's got done. None of it has got accomplished.
Not true. You were just throwing little jabs.
I'm not starting shit today.
Yeah, you are.
But I know you did want to talk about. Unless you want to continue this conversation, all I'm saying is...
there's not... You've said, this is it, and this is what I'm going to do, and then you're just throwing in little jabs in between, sprinkling them here and there.
No, because I keep waiting for you to go, you know what? You're right. And I also need to be better. I kept waiting for the, hey, you put it on you. You need to do better. I also need to do better. I'm not going to get it. It's not happening. So let's move on.
Let's move on.
Ever. The queen... does whatever she wants.
The queen has moved on.
But I know you wanted to talk about the comments.
Oh no, you said we weren't going to talk about that today.
Well, no, I thought it was funny that you came in and you were like, "Oh my God, did you read that comment?"
I came in and I said, "Are we going to talk about the woman who told me I needed to grow a pair, or the woman who said you were incredibly selfish and didn't give anyone else credit?" That's what I said.
I would like to be reminded of why I was incredibly selfish. What was she talking about?
The episode where you were talking about your crazy schedule and how people underestimated you and everything. And I think for some people it came across as you not being grateful for your success, and the people in the team it took to get to that, because it's not a one-man show, and she felt like you were talking like a one-man band.
Okay, so 2 things. Number 1, I have an amazing team. I have 3 things. Number 1, I have an amazing team of people that I love, that I care about, that help me and the team move forward.
Yeah.
So that's number 1. Number 2, to question my gratefulness is insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because I could not be any more grateful. I could not be any more happy with the way things are moving forward. I could not be any more thankful for all the people that have come out to support. And I have made that very, very clear, my appreciation for the fact that I get to do what I do for a living. So that's number 2. I
think it's a big change for our family, and I think we're trying to figure out how to navigate it. Navigate it? I told you, it's like I took a gummy that hasn't worn off. How to navigate it with grace.
And then the third thing I was going to say is that ultimately, all of it falls on me.
Yeah, the pressure of it all. Yeah,
all of it falls on me. I don't go on stage. I'm not funny. Everything falls apart.
Yeah.
I don't show up to my gigs. Everything falls apart.
Yeah.
I don't deliver. I don't continue to write. I don't continue to guide the ship. It all falls apart. So even though, of course, I'm grateful for my team, I think that I try very hard to go over and above with my team to let my team know how appreciative I am, or little gestures here and there. I do the very best I can to let my team know that thank you.
Yeah.
But again, ultimately the pressure's on me. I laugh when, today, as a matter of fact, when I told my agent, I go, hey man, Dallas, Bakersfield, Atlantic City, that's just unrealistic. I can't do that again. And not once did I hear, oh my God, you're right, I'm sorry. It was, hey, but it opened up all these doors, and hey, we're gonna make more money next year, and hey, you're gonna get other markets. And I'm like, yes, I see all of that, but it was brutal.
Well, and that's what I responded to her privately, and I just said, it was a rough moment. You were literally like, we'd said we weren't going to talk about it, and then you just spilled the beans on the podcast, and it was probably the toughest week you've had in years.
I mean,
you know,
and again, you know, look, I was tired also.
It was a human moment. It was a very human
I was tired
moment.
on the podcast, but again, we try to be our real selves. We try to be honest and open of the way that I was feeling at the time.
Yeah.
I look back on it, I'm like, hey man, it is what it is, and we got through it. However, I literally slept in a bed for maybe 6 hours total in 72 hours.
And I said this after July, the sleep deprivation is a legit real thing.
I mean,
like,
you know, so again, you know, if I came off as selfish, I apologize. I don't think I'm a selfish person, and I try very hard daily to not be
But
selfish.
I did feel the need to defend you, because to like legit be sleep deprived and still walk on that stage and perform at the caliber you do is not easy. And you're not on drugs.
Well, unfortunately, I am not on drugs, but again, I do get frustrated when I hear comments like, "Well, it must be nice to just tell jokes for a living. You know, it must be nice to work 1 hour a day,
That's not
3
the
days
case
a
at
week,"
all.
and I'm like, I always keep my mouth shut because I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, well, people don't, you know, they don't realize the strain on my body, but again, like I said, of course, I have a wonderful team. I have a beautiful wife and family. I'm so.
I'm sorry. We talk about how like in our own marriage at home, with the role that you play going out on the road and the role that I play staying at home, that each of those comes with sacrifice. Because I think that was, you know, that was one of the points too, is that like on both ends, like you knew when you chose this career that traveling and was going to be a part of it. And I knew when I married you that traveling was going to be a part of your job. And if we were going to have a family and kids, the responsibility at home was going to fall on me.
I saw an interview with Chris Rock where a comedian went up to Chris Rock and said, man, I can't wait to get to the point where I don't have to tour. And then Chris Rock goes, then quit.
Yeah.
Because it's what we do.
Yeah.
We tour, we get out in front of people, right? So my goal is how can I tour less and be more effective, and how can I find a way to be home with my family more?
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people might say, well, don't do as many shows or make less money. There is that approach, yes. But I rather do the approach of I will work so hard that I can get to the point where we're doing bigger shows and I can afford to be home that night.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, and again, part of my plan, my internal long-term plan is, hey, the kids are young, you know, now, how fast can I get to that point? And again, I've had that goal forever. You know, this year was that year where we go, great, we'll do theaters, and that way I'm only working Friday, Saturday. Well, thank God, and my appreciation for all the people that came out, we added shows, and I'm not going to say no to those shows. We're going to add those shows. So we ended up working harder this year than we did in previous years. But of course, it's going to lead to a better situation for next year.
Yeah.
So I hate that people might have taken it as, oh my gosh, Steve, you're being selfish, and you know, I'm not sitting here defending myself. I'm just saying that it does all fall on me.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, if I don't go to work, all of the what's the 9 Inch Nails song, right? My Aunt Hill, you know, my little castle falls. The whole castle falls if I don't deliver.
Yeah.
Right. So it is a lot of pressure, and it is on me. Right.
And that's why I try to support you as much as possible.
But we've learned to do that together, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then what was the other comment that? Because you brought mine up first.
Well, I have to say thank you. I don't know if I'm saying her handle or his or her handle correctly, Lil Ange, but some people came up and spoke up on my behalf, so I didn't have to chime in when I read the comment a whole week later.
I know, I did read the comment where they were like, oh my God, I have 3 kids, I'm a single mother, I have 2 jobs.
Renae needs to grow a pair.
Yeah,
Those are the words. Renae needs to grow a pair.
And I agree. I mean, I don't want you to have a pair. That would be kind of gross.
Someone stepped in and said that you make jokes about me being a princess all the time, and princesses can't grow a pair, and that is true.
No, but
there is some truth to that.
But what cracks me up too, sometimes I feel like we do these podcasts, we have this long discussion, and then people just zero in on one thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because to me, in that discussion, we very clearly said, hey, everybody's circumstances are different.
Yeah.
Right? And that no matter what the circumstances are, that you might be looking from the outside looking in going, oh, wow, well, Renae has this and Renae has that. She needs to get over it. Well, no, Renae is an amazing mother to our children. Renae works hard. Renae runs the social media aspect of the company. Renae is constantly handling and managing books and the investments and the freaking bullshit health insurance paperwork that comes in that we have to accomplish. So, you know, I understand. I have so much respect for the single mom, for the
oh my God,
for the mom,
mad respect, yeah,
for the mom that made it happen with 3 jobs and and still found a way to be
the military wives,
an amazing mother. So, but the point of that whole thing was that everybody has their issues and everybody has their problems. It's different issues, different problems, different situations, different, you know. So it is all equivalent to the person. However, I would have to agree with the fact that yes, sometimes we do need to take that step back, look at our lives and go, wow, we're pretty lucky. And I would say that 90% me and you do that.
Yeah.
90% we step back and go, man, our life is pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, our life is great and we work hard, but we get to enjoy family time in Denver this week.
Yeah.
Family time in Tampa next week, because we all get to go. You know, so yes, I agree with the fact that, you know, of course it's not a good look to walk on this podcast and sound, number one, unappreciative of my team or selfish, or number 2, sound like
whiny,
right? But that's how we were feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to apologize for talking about our feelings and how we felt in the moment and how sometimes I do feel like I'm all alone. Sometimes I do feel like it's all me. Sometimes I do feel like, hey man, is anybody listening to me?
Yeah.
You know, I want to do this, but and I love that too, where people go, must be nice to be your own boss, you know, and I'm sure Rick hears it.
Yeah.
Must be nice to be your own boss. Like, no, just because I'm my own boss, there's still all these things and people that I have to answer to.
Yeah. You
know, Rick, yes, produces a TV show, but whoever buys that TV show, that's Rick's boss.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's always going to be a boss.
Yeah. There's
always going to be somebody to answer to, you know, which takes me back to, gosh, forever years ago. I was doing a show. I'm not going to say where, because I don't like to call people out, but I was doing a show somewhere. The promoter of the club was, I was upset because we had planned to put tickets on sale, and then that promoter didn't have the tickets ready. So I leaned into the promoter, and then the promoter got mad at me, right? And he goes, well, you know, I'm doing this, and this. And I go, yes, but when you're the promoter, you got to have these tickets ready to go.
Yeah.
I go, so I'm sorry, we're a team. I'm going to hold you accountable for the things you're supposed to do, and you're going to hold me accountable for the things I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to promote. I'm supposed to let people know that I'm going to be there. I'm doing that. You're supposed to have the tickets ready and the seating chart ready and the microphone ready and all those things. That's not happening. I'm upset. And then that guy goes, you're not my boss to talk to me this way. And I go, I am your boss. Because you have a job to do for me, and I expect you to do that job. I'm paying you to promote this show. So guess what, dude? I am your boss.
Yeah.
To have that idea that, well, you're not my boss. You can't call me out and get mad at me. I don't have a boss. No, you do have a boss because I am paying you 20% of this show and you expect, and you are my boss.
Yeah.
If I don't do the things I'm supposed to do, you have every right to call me and go get mad at me and go, hey, you're not doing this, and this.
Yeah.
Right. So it just reminded me of that situation where this particular person literally said, you're not my boss. You can't get mad at me. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm your boss. Right.
Yeah.
So it all goes to, at the end of the day, we all have a boss.
Yeah.
We all have somebody to answer to.
Yeah.
Right?
But you had such a great weekend. Speaking of being
good transition.
grateful and blessings.
I was going to transition.
We got to talk about what an awesome weekend it was. 2 shows in San Antonio, 2 shows in Houston.
It was awesome, man. And gosh, I walked on stage at the Tobin Center. And several, again, it happened to me at the Majestic in Dallas where I walked on stage and boom, it hit me. I mean, it's just a beautiful theater, right?
Yeah.
And I had a moment of, oh shit, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in San Antonio. I walk on stage and it was like, oh shit, this is.
Well, not when I walked on stage, but when I walked in the back, because it's like, so there's the floor seats, right, that go up at the incline, but then all around the perimeter is your balcony seating.
And it's like close.
Yes, and it's like what? It was like three
or 4 stories,
or something of boxes, and the front of them is all lit up in like beautiful lights. So you, from the stage perspective, even from the back of the audience, you see all those sides lit up. It's just crazy.
It was really, really cool, and I had a moment of like, wow, and then the Tobin Center came up to me and they said, you broke the record. You are the most successful show we've ever had at the Tobin Center. And I go, oh, like this month, this year? They're like, no, you are the most successful show we've ever had. I'm like, wow. So to hear that, it's like, holy shit, and Thursday we showed up and my mom was there and Chayo was there and Annalisa and
my folks.
Your parents. And it was just really cool. A little overwhelming, because we're getting hit up, especially for the San Antonio show.
We've talked about how hometown shows are hard. It's hard.
Well, can I get tickets? And do you have tickets? And it's sold out so fast. Can you help me out?
And when there's that many people at one time, it's just hard to give everybody their moment.
And we really maxed out our comp list, more so than we should have. Which stresses out the venue, which stresses everybody out.
It stresses me out. It gives me anxiety. Good thing road manager Tim is just like, doesn't bother me.
Tim's like,
doesn't bother me. And I'm like, Tim, I have an ulcer for you in this moment.
But Friday was fun because, we hang out with our neighborhood and we become really good friends with a lot of people in our neighborhood. And we're leaving from here anyway. And they're all going, what show are we going to? What show are we going to? What show are we going to? So then we know, okay, we're all going to the Friday show. I'm going to rent a limo. We'll all get in the limo. We'll go eat dinner. Then we'll all go to the show together. And then we'll party on the way back to the neighborhood together. So it was really cool. And again, making relationships is hard for me because on the weekends, everybody's hanging out. Everybody's continuing to have bonding friendship time.
Birthday parties, barbecues, pool parties.
Hangouts, and I don't get to do that. So it's a good opportunity for me to also bond with neighbors on a weekend.
Yeah.
And to be able to have drinks together. And they've Ocho was delicious.
Oh my gosh. It's right next door to the Tobin Center. It's beautiful and the food was amazing.
Food was fantastic.
It's hard to accommodate a large group like that, and they did a great job.
And we went in, we had dinner, and then at the, it's funny because all you ladies are so proper in the limo on the way there, and all the ladies are talking and hanging out, and all the guys are, and then on the way back, it's just like,
well,
I like big butts and I cannot lie. And then everybody's dancing on the pole, and we had a good party. And then
Five
McCutcheon,
margaritas later, it'll do that to you.
McCutcheon made me laugh so hard because, here we are in this little confined space. We're having a great time. We're playing all this music. Everybody's dancing and high-fiving, and we're just having a blast in this limo. And then McCutcheon goes, dude, you do realize that if I had a room that was this size with a pole in the middle of it and said, hey guys, we're all going to that room, we're all going to party together, all the women would be like, McCutcheon's creepy. Why would he have a room like this, right? But in a limo, it's okay, right?
And I text Sarah about it too, and you told me he'd said that, and I was dying laughing. I couldn't stop laughing, and she said, she goes, oh, well, I'm glad we settled that because we have a basement. So she was like, I'm glad that's settled. No stripper pole in the basement.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he does. It's not a basement, really, what he has, but we just had a wonderful time, and then I hauled my ass out to Houston.
Yeah.
Again, overwhelmingly awesome.
I am bummed I missed it. Like literally right until the last minute you left, I was like, am I going? Am I staying? Am I going? Am I staying?
But
like,
it was one of those.
I had such mixed feelings about wanting to go there to support you and see friends that we have in Houston, but also Garrett, someone else had put him to bed 2 nights in a row, and
yeah, and
he had obligations and things, and I just really felt torn between stay with the kids or go with you.
Well, Jose came out without Nancy.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because Nancy had another obligation. You did miss Chad and Becca.
Yeah.
And then Mario Chapa and his wife came out.
I had girlfriends there, Jessica and Taylor came out, and I had friends from high school. Like some of my drama friends from high school came out too.
It was a good show, and it was awesome. And then I got my ass back in the car and hauled ass here because your parents had come into town for grandparents. They had planned.
They were going to do the show, and they just made a whole long weekend of it, so they could babysit, so I could go to the shows and then do grandparents' day with Garrett.
I love having your parents over and watching football. Your dad loves to gamble on football, so I get in there with him, and we gamble
and bet the opposite of whatever he does.
Whatever he does, I just bet the opposite. I'm way up, by the way. I'm way up.
Not good for Dad.
I remember over at Thanksgiving, he's like, I know what you guys are doing. I know y'all are betting whatever I do, you do the opposite. Because every time I lose, you guys are high-fiving. But it was nice to have your parents over and Garrett and everybody. And this weekend, when you're watching this, the whole family is in Denver.
We're heading to Denver.
Yeah.
I was trying to look. I was like, I'm so excited for like cooler weather. But I was also like, what are things that you can do in Denver in the fall that we don't get to do in Texas?
I'm gonna have to take a light sweater.
Well, I checked the weather. I think it's gonna be like 70s during the day, but 40s at night.
Yeah, so I better bring a light coat.
Delilah might need a new jacket.
Get it. Delilah Ray from the Corpus
We might have to
Christi
do some
Bay.
shopping while we're in Denver for a coat that she'll wear twice.
Yes.
No, but I was thinking if people have suggestions for things we should do in Denver, send them to me. But maybe apple picking? Like we can't do that in Texas. It's so hot. We don't have apples to pick.
Maybe I'll reach out to. Do you still have Luke Keenan's wife's info?
I don't know.
Because I can reach out to Luke. They got kids our age, so.
Or maybe there's like a really great pumpkin patch.
Because remember, we went to the zoo with them.
Yeah.
Last time, and it was awesome. And then
good zoo weather because it's cool right now.
Yes, and then Luke took me to this little town that had this crazy pizza place, and then the crust is like cinnamon-y. I'll have to ask.
You're talking about food, and my stomach's growling.
Luke, but very excited. And then after that, it's Garrett's birthday on October 9th. We are going to Tampa together because it's his birthday weekend. And then I need to get tickets to go. He wants to see Tom Brady play. So if anybody has the hookup for a good tailgate.
No, I mean, I know who Tom Brady is because he's married to Giselle Bundchen. But how does Garrett
Not for long.
What?
Oh, there's trouble in paradise.
No. But why?
You haven't heard that?
Oh, I think it's like silly rumors.
I don't know.
I'm not on the train.
I don't know.
But how does Garrett know who Tom Brady is?
Because he's fucking Tom Brady. I mean, he's probably, and I'm going to catch hell for it, but he's probably the greatest quarterback of all time.
I don't know football. I can't have this conversation.
If you count Super Bowl rings, the guy's got more than anybody.
Yeah.
and I don't know if this is true or false, but from what I see, he seems to be a really good guy.
Yeah.
From what I mean, he has been married. I don't know what's going on with his marriage, but I don't think he's ever cheated on her. I don't know. I mean, he seems to be an outstanding citizen. So Garrett's super excited about going to the game. So if anybody has a hookup, I'd love to get it. Take care of Garrett.
Yeah.
But it was. I would like to also, hopefully, take Garrett and because your dad's coming.
Yeah.
I'd like to take him fishing one of the days.
Yeah.
Like charter fishing trip.
Yes.
And me, Garrett, God, the more we fish, the more he's like, I want to fish.
Yeah.
He's all about it. So for his birthday, hang out together in Tampa, take him fishing.
Well, we got to find something to do as a family too. If you guys are going to do football game and fishing, then we got to do something that the girls will do too. I'm not putting Delilah.
I mean, they do have a casino there, so we can take the family to the casino. And I'm super excited about Vegas. We haven't talked about it much, but
that's right.
Yep, December 1st. We are half sold out already.
Amazing.
December 1st, the Mirage, and then December 8th, the Mirage. NFR weekend. Get your tickets as soon as possible, and then Renae and I hopefully will get to see George Strait. This will be my first time to see George Strait live.
I'm trying to think. I saw him one year as a birthday present. My mom took me, and was it just me and them or some of my friends? But I think I saw George Strait, and I think Tim McGraw and Faith Hill might have been on tour with him at the time, and that's when they got engaged.
Really?
I don't know if I'm making this up. I might be totally making this up. My memory is not as good as yours. But for some reason, that's how I remember it.
but us Trevinos, we're doing good. We're happy. We're appreciative. We feel very lucky, very, very lucky.
Yeah.
It has been a long road, and we have worked hard to get here, and we're very appreciative that we are here. And mainly appreciative of you guys, and please forgive us if sometimes on this podcast we are not at our best. We are not. But again, I don't ever come on this podcast on guard.
Well, I was just going to say we don't edit ourselves.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We know. I never get on here and go, oh man, I shouldn't say that, or I think there's a lot, but I was hoping, and I'm hoping that that's what makes this podcast special, is that you do see the peaks and the valleys, and you do see the challenges that Renae and I go through in our marriage, in our life, as parents, as business people. I mean, all of it.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy, and we're doing the best we can. And again, I was telling you, I have to name this next tour and the next special, and I just don't know what it is, but I thought, man, the Trevinos, we try.
Yeah.
Because I think life's that simple. Are you trying? Are you trying to be better? Are you trying to, perfect timing. David J., you're on the podcast. What's up, buddy?
Oh, hey, you said I'm on the podcast?
Yep.
All right, well, I can call you back. I got an idea for you about Big Cherries.
Oh, all right, Dave. I'll call you back. I was hoping you'd be a little funnier.
Oh, you want me to be funnier? Well, if we're on the podcast, I just want to say, follow me at Dave J. Comic. You won't regret it.
That was funny. All right, buddy. We'll call you back later.
Yeah.
That is Dave J., the opening act, and he's been doing a great job.
Yeah,
he's been doing a great job, and he's super funny, and but that's what I tell him all the time. This is the time to challenge yourself. This is the time.
How so? What do you mean?
Well, to try new material. You have an opportunity in front of a lot of people.
Yeah.
To perform multiple shows in a weekend. Adventure out. Go and try to be, because at the end of the day, if Dave J., well, number one, he's good enough that the audience isn't going to notice that he had a bad set, number one. Number two, if he does have a bad set, Once I go on stage, they don't care what the opening act did.
Well, but I think
You
he
know?
wants to properly, right? It's just like a warm-up comic when you go to a show taping. Like, you want to properly warm up the audience so when the headliner gets up there, they're in a good mood. They're ready to go.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree, but at the same time, you know, I much different than other comedians, I don't want a forever opening act.
Yeah.
And if I wanted somebody to, if I went to somebody and said, look, you're going to do the same show and you're going to kill every time and you're going to host and you're going to be an amazing host, I could hire that person.
Yeah.
I could hire that person to go on the road with me that I go, I don't care if you change your set. I want you to kill.
Yeah.
I want you to kill. I want you to host. I want you to be the best damn host a guy could hire. And then you were that guy. I don't look, when I bring guys on the road, I don't look for that. I look for guys to challenge themselves to get better because I want them to go on and have an amazing career. I want them to go on. And if you're doing the same set over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, you're not getting better. You're not growing. You're not going to leave that position.
Yeah.
You know, now, don't get me wrong. There might be somebody out there in the future that, you know, we're doing theaters and they go, look, man, this is where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
Right? This is who I am. I've been doing comedy forever. I need to get a paycheck. And I will be the best host you'll ever hire.
Yeah.
And that's my gig. Working for you, opening for you, making sure that your show is amazing. Right?
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that Rick loves. What do you think on those thoughts, Rick?
It's interesting. I mean, I could dive into this for an hour because you're right. I love this kind of stuff. I also think that for someone like Dave J, who is very, very talented, at what point, I don't want to take over this, but at what point does he become a headliner?
That's a very good question.
The transition. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
You know, it's interesting because what will happen is if he continues to grow and so let's take a step back.
We're already 47 minutes
I know.
in.
Let's take a very quick step back.
Okay.
Dave J right now walks on stage and does a damn good job.
Yeah.
And he's funny.
Yeah.
Right? I think he's funny. Rick thinks he's funny. You think he's funny. The audience thinks he's funny.
Yeah.
Okay? At the when at the end of the show, very few people right now ask his name to me.
Yeah.
One or two will go, hey, what was the opener's name?
Right.
So even the people that wanted to remember his name didn't remember his name. So then they go, hey, Steve, that guy was really funny. What was his name? And of course I go, oh, that's David J. Follow him.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Because he is funny and he is talented. But not enough so. It'll get to the point, Rick, where as soon as he gets off stage, his socials blow up and I'm getting 50 to 100 people going, what was your opener's name? Right?
Yeah.
We're not at that point yet. We're not at the point where when Dave gets, like, for example, and again, nothing against Dave. Dave's only been doing this a few years.
Yeah.
And he's very, very good. So I don't want to sit here. He's on the road because I think he's good.
Yeah.
Because I think he's talented. Because I think he's really funny. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good man. I think he's a good father to his children, a good husband to his wife. So the package is there. That's why he's there, because he's great. However, so this is not talking poorly about Dave before we get the message. Wow, you just shit on Dave.
Opening act.
No, I'm not speaking poorly of Dave, but there was a weekend where Dave could not make it. So I called Ty Rivera.
Uh-huh.
Right? I said, hey, Ty, even though he's a pain in my ass, I called up Ty. I said, hey, Ty, do you want to work with me in San Jose? Right? Uh-huh. Ty's a headliner. Ty's been doing comedy for 20 years. Ty has a point of view. Ty has an attitude. Ty has
an audience,
a cadence. The right? Ty gets off stage and it's, oh my God, you're funny. Oh my God, you're funny. Sending me messages going, what's that guy's name? What's every show?
Yeah. Every show,
15 to 25 people, your opener was so funny, right? That, Rick, is the difference. And it'll organically happen for Dave if he continues to do what I say, in the fact that, hey, grow, challenge yourself, write new material, get deeper into who you are.
I wonder if it's different being an opening act in a comedy club versus being an opening act in a theater. Like, I just think in a comedy club, because it's more intimate, it's easier to grab people. And I feel like in a theater, yes, you have access to all of these, or the audience of all these people, bigger numbers, but it's almost harder to kind of grab them.
It is harder. And that's why, and again, we do a show, we get in the car to drive somewhere to the next show, our home or wherever, then me and Dave are talking comedy.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking, hey, what happened in that set? What joke worked? What joke didn't work? What have you tried this? What have you tried that? And when it came to the theaters, because he's so dry and sarcastic, I told him, I said, your face has to be bigger, right? Your timing has to slow down a little bit. You have to work the stage a little more. So when I do a theater, I'm bigger.
Yeah.
My emotions are bigger, and I walk up to the front of the stage and I walk back and I get on the stool different, and because I want to be able to connect.
Yeah.
That everybody sees my face. So my face is even bigger, right?
Yeah.
So that was one of the notes I had with Dave. I said, look, man, we're in a theater. You got to go bigger. And for him, bigger is just a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? So to answer your question, Rick, it organically happens to the point where, it happened for me when I was an opening act, where it got to the point where people are going, I want to see you do a whole hour.
Yeah.
I loved watching you open. When are you coming back?
Yeah.
Let us know when you headline, right? And that at Dave's stage right now is not happening. But I will say that, and Rick and Dave and I talk about it, it's fun to watch, because when we first started, there was zero.
Yeah.
Now, here we are almost a year in. Now, inevitably, every show, a couple of people will go, who was that guy?
Yeah.
What was his name? So you can tell the difference into what he's doing on stage that makes people convert to, I think I'm a Dave J fan.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, I don't ever concern myself with having a really funny opening act. A lot of headliners go, I don't want the opening act to be funnier than me. I don't understand that way of thinking. Number one, I want everybody to have a great show from start to finish, number one. Number two, I want them to go, man, what a show.
Yeah.
The opening act was hilarious. Steve was hilarious. Because I'm not competing against, it's not a competition.
No, it was totally worth the cost of admission.
What I do is what I do, and what Dave does is what Dave does, and what Bert Kreischer does is what Bert Kreischer does, you put me on a show with me, Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, it's going to be a great show because we're all good comedians that do our thing.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, and somebody might say, man, you know what? I enjoyed Bert Kreischer the most.
I was just about to say, comedy is subjective. It's
right.
Like a matter of personal opinion.
Man, that was a great show, but I'm more of a Tom Segura fan.
Yeah.
I enjoy Tom Segura's humor more than I enjoy Kreischer's and Trevino's.
Yeah.
Or, man, you know what? I like Trevino. That's what I like. But Tom was great. And so it's all subjective. So I never concern myself with it being a competition. It's not a competition. And all I want is for Dave to get really, really good and go on and have his own career. So last question, Rick, and we got to go, sir.
Well, okay. The thing is, comedy schools, right? Like, I'm sure you're against it. However, everything you just said and what makes you a unique individual in this comedy space is you are a coach. I've seen you around, Dave, and you do coach them. So what's the difference between a comedy school coaching someone and you coaching someone?
That's a great question. So two things. When I first got to the Addison Improv, there was a guy there who was like the go-to middle act. And again, I'm not going to say his name. Go-to middle act, and then he would teach a class, and I forget what it was, man, but it was not cheap. It was a very expensive class. And he came up to me and he said, hey, I know you want to be a comedian. Are you going to join the class? And I didn't tell him this, and I'm glad I did not, But I said, no, thanks. I'm good. And the difference is that I don't want to learn from somebody that's in a position. I don't want to be the middle act.
Yeah.
I want to be the headliner. I want to be Dave Chappelle. I want to be at that time, I want to be Dave Chappelle. I want to be the big names.
Yeah.
I don't need you to teach me how to end up where you ended up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to learn from the very, very best, because if you were that good, then you would be there. You're not there, and he never got there. That's why I don't want to talk about him. He never got there.
Yeah.
He never broke the plane of being a feature act. And the difference is that Dave's with me day in, day out. I don't make him pay for it. I actually pay him to come on the road.
Yeah.
And I am giving him advice from a place that is I've done it.
And it's not just the hour on stage or the hour in the class. It is everything that you eat, breathe, and sleep comedy.
That's it. And to answer your question again, Rick, I wish more clubs, what clubs should do is a free comedy class. And what they should teach is how to act at a comedy club. Who to talk to, who not to talk to.
The things that are really teachable,
Right.
right? Or instructable.
Right. How to be respectful of the green room and the headlining comic. How to walk on stage.
How to appropriately ask for stage time.
Right. How to appropriately ask for stage time.
Yeah.
Right. All those things, they can be taught, but at the end of the day, a class is not going to teach me how to be a stand-up. However, a class like this guy's class is a good introduction, because a lot of people go, I don't know where to begin. Where do I begin? How do you start? What do you do?
Yeah.
How do you find open mics? And in the 6 weeks that you're doing this class, you're making friends with the other people that want to do comedy. You're learning about at least how to write a joke. And
I was going to say,
it's a
yeah,
good,
like story structure.
It's a good introduction to comedy, but unless you're on the road, and that was the beautiful thing about when I'm picking up these guys at the airport when I was young, I'm in the car with them. I'm listening to their conversations.
Yeah.
I'm a fly on the wall. When I hung out at the Comedy Store, I'm against the wall and I'm listening to conversations that Robin Williams is having and God rest his soul.
Try this tab.
And Harlan Williams and I mean the list goes on forever of these Chris Rock and
seeing how their brains work.
Seeing how they work, and I'm watching and hanging out, and I have them one-on-one in the car when I'm taking them to radio, and I'm slowly asking questions, or they'll go, hey,
even
man,
learning how to do radio, that's
Right.
a whole own separate thing.
So there is a big difference, and the best part was I'm opening. That guy who doesn't like me because I didn't take his class is middling, and then Kevin Pollak is the headliner. Which, by the way, Kevin Pollak, I mean, Casino,
Yeah.
A Few Good Men, The Usual Suspects. I'm like, holy crap, right? I get to work with Kevin Pollak.
Yeah.
We all go sit down in the green room, and one of that guy's flyers for the class was on the table, and in front of him, Pollak picks up the paper and goes, what a piece of shit. He goes, who the fuck teaches a damn comedy class for this price and takes advantage of young comedians? And the dude was sitting right there. I was like, I wanted to be like, it's him. But again, I mean, actually, there's several guys that took that class that are still in the business. Several guys.
Yeah.
But again, a good introduction.
Yeah.
But, nobody, so, like when you talk to Dave goes, man, I've learned more with you in a year than I did doing open mics for 5 years.
Yeah.
He goes, because the open micers aren't willing to share what they know. And I've always been willing to share what I know because I don't, two things, it's subjective, number one. Number two, nobody helped me.
You inherently love being a teacher. That's your personality, though.
A helper.
Yeah.
I like to help. I like to help, and I like to get people on their way and try to help them as much as I can so that they can avoid all the bullshit I went through.
Yeah.
There's two kinds of thoughts behind that is is fuck them. Nobody taught me. They'll have to figure it out on their own. A lot of comics have that attitude. I have the attitude of like, no, I wish I had somebody that had these conversations with me. I wish that somebody would have taken the time to go, hey, dude, that's a hacky joke. Hey, that joke, get deeper. I had to learn it on my own. And when you got somebody like Dave J, who has a family to feed, who is completely sacrificing, to go out on the road. He's a little bit older. He has 4 kids. Hey, man, I got to put you, if you want to do this, I got to put you on the fast track. So I'm going to give you, but again, people don't learn until they go through it.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question, Rick.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, I hope that answers your question.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think next week, why don't we let Rick think about all the questions he has for a comic, and we can do some of those next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful podcast today. And that's another thing, because of Rick's schedule, we haven't really been able to podcast with our producer either.
Yeah.
So today is really special. We're all back together. We're all feeling good. We're all happy. So I hope you guys enjoyed.
We gave it our best.
We always try.
Yes,
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget, pick Cherries that Dave has an idea for.
Yes.
Old Salt Coffee, Trevino 10 is the code. And of course, Aztec Chevrolet.
Good old Aztec.
And then the couple that named their dog Aztec came up to me. They're like, we named our dog Aztec because of you. So we love you. Thank you so much. We will see you all next time. Denver, we're already having fun. Thanks, guys.